Good evening and welcome to Sky TV. Today we celebrate the 146th anniversary of Claude Debussy. Claude Debussy is one of the most important French composers of the early 20th century and is regarded as the first Impressionist musician. Claude Debussy was born 1862 near Paris in the town of Saint-Germain-en-Laye as the eldest of 5 children. Because of his extraordinary musical talent, he was sent to the Paris Conservatory by his piano teacher Madame Moutet when he was just 10 years old. He studied harmony, piano and organ. His aim was to become a professional pianist. After failing 2 piano examinations, he decided to study composition. From the start, though clearly talented, Debussy was experimental and didn't obey the harmonic rules. He preferred dissonances and intervals. From 1879 to 1882, he worked as a household pianist for Madame von Meck, the patron of Tchaikovsky. Debussy accompanied her on the journeys to Florence, Venice and then Moscow. At Vienna, he attended Wagner's opera Tristan und Isolde. Wagner's influence is, for example, evident in La Damoiselle Lulu and the 1889 piece Cinq Poèmes de Baudelaire. At the age of 22, he won the Prix du Rhum for his composition L'Enfant Prodigue. This prize included a 4-year residence at the Villa Medici to further his studies. The 1890 was a successful decade for Debussy's career. In this time, he wrote his first opera, Pilar et Mélisande. Debussy was quite popular after this opera, and he worked as a conductor in many cities. Debussy had a lot of friends who belonged to the leading Impressionist poets and painters. Debussy was obviously influenced by his friends. Impressionist painters wanted their paintings to be left open to the viewer's interpretation. This simply gave an impression of something. It could be said that Debussy did the same. He, like the Impressionist painters, would leave out obvious or not include all the details. Debussy was also influenced by Eastern art. The Japanese artist Hokusai experimented with effects of light, patterns, shapes and silhouettes. This is, for example, seen in La Mer, a tune by Debussy. The characteristic of Debussy's style is the use of a whole tone and pentatonic scales. On this way he created a sense of floating. Moreover, he used parallel chords, bitonal chords, that means playing in 2 keys at the same time. In the last 20 years of his life, he composed the orchestral suites, nocturnes, most of his piano music, including the 2 books of preludes. In 1899, Debussy married the dressmaker Rosalie Texier. In 1905, he left her for Emma Bardek, an amateur singer and the wife of a Paris bankier. In 1905, their daughter Claude Emma was born, to whom he dedicated the Children's Corner Suite. Claude Debussy died in Paris on March 25, 1918, from colorectal cancer. At that time, Paris was just being bombarded, and because of these circumstances, he couldn't be paid the honor of a public funeral. His harmonies, considered radical in these days, were influential to almost every major composer of the 20th century, for example Igor Stravinsky and the minimalist music of Steve Reich. He also influenced many important figures in jazz, Duke Ellington and Brad Mehldau.